Hi friends, happy Tuesday. Quick check-in real fast. Couple thoughts I want to share with you today. I got up this morning and I was sitting in the dark and I was listening to my affirmations and I was drinking my pumpkin spice coffee, which I probably should cut out. But it's so delicious and it brings me joy, and I have this whole internal battle of going all in and doing the things that serve me and eliminating the things that don't, like creamer, and enjoying my life because it's precious and tomorrow's not guaranteed, right? Just sharing that in case you need a little bit of that. Good morning, Karen. But I came across a video from this other amazing Beachbody coach in one of our leadership pages, and she was coming in hot. It was an old video, but I love how you come across exactly what you need when you need it. I call that a God wink. And it was about what to do when you're feeling stuck. And I really don't care to verbalize the word stuck because I feel like it gives things power. And we all know that our words are so powerful and we all have these negative thoughts sometimes, but when we speak them into existence, it could go either two ways. It could either you're giving it power because you're choosing to like think about it, marinate in it, and like, yes, I'm stuck. This is so hard. Or it could be all right, this is my gut check. I have been feeling stuck, but I've also been taking no personal responsibility in changing things. And so that's what she was talking about. And I'm going to share some of those tidbits with you because I think that maybe you need to hear it. So number one, she was talking about how if to edit your habits, like what are your habits and are they making you feel excited and on fire and inspired? Or are they contributing to that stuck meh feeling? Like it's just, nothing is very exciting. Everything is just kind of a to-do. I think that especially as moms and women, like this is a common occurrence for a lot of us because we have so many pots on our stove and we're juggling so many things, and it can be kind of easy to get into this to-do list trap. I know, I was thinking about that today. I was like, you just need to do the shit as much as you can. Like give yourself a window, like this is the time I have devoted to this activity. And if I don't finish it, I don't finish it. Because more often than not, at least I do, I'll work compulsively until I finish something or I get all my boxes checked. But it's not, there's no win in it because number one, I'm not choosing to find my wins. And number two, it's all back tomorrow. So if you're finding yourself in that place where you're hustling to get all the things done in your life or at work or whatever, and you're not celebrating the wins, maybe you need to take a step back and ask yourself, how much time do I actually want to devote to this, and be okay with it not being perfect and okay with it being like 70, 80% complete, and then allowing yourself the space to like have the play and have the fun. This is something I know I need to do in my life. I don't know if that makes any sense to you, but whatever. So today I was listening to Julie and she was like, you need to edit your habits. You need to edit your habits 100%, and it doesn't have to be huge edits. It doesn't have to be changing everything. And as much as I come in here and I preach progress over perfect, I preach that because it's what I need. Because I'm a go big or go home, all or nothing kind of gal at my core. And I know that doesn't serve me and doesn't feel good. And there's no wins or victories in that. And like having all the medals and wearing the cape and getting all the shit done and basically throwing myself on the fire. So if that's where you're at, we don't win any prize. You don't win for getting it all done. No one is going to acknowledge it. So what habits do you need to edit? Are they actually serving you and who you want to be? And so this plays right into our 90-day agreement. Like we're trying to create habits that serve you, that feel good, that cultivate some area of your life that you know is off kilter, that you want to kind of edit. And it doesn't have to be all or nothing. You don't have to. She was saying like it could be as simple as giving yourself 15 extra minutes of sleep. I don't know about you, but when I think about sleep, I'm like, I should get up earlier or I should go to bed earlier instead of allowing myself maybe 15 extra minutes in the morning to sleep. Or maybe it's whatever you're doing for personal development. If you're reading a book, if you're listening to a book and it's not what you need and you're simply going through the motions to check the box to complete it, you can put it back on the shelf. If it's not what you need, that's all right. It might be what you need down the road. It might be what you need in another season. But if it's not speaking to you, if you're not having an amen on a Tuesday moment, then it's time to edit that. So I was like, okay, what personal development am I doing? Does it make me excited? Does it make me feel alive? Just little edits like that. What about your workout? Do you love it? Do you hate it? Is it meh? If it's meh, You can put it back on the shelf. You can try something different. There's literally 500 million options. And we can choose to allow that to overwhelm us, or you can choose to be excited by that. Like, I can be unattached to completing something and instead just play around and try a little bit of yoga and try a little bit of XP and try some live workouts, try some old school stuff, print a hybrid calendar. There's 500 hybrid calendars in here where you can try different things. It's not marriage. It's not a tattoo. You don't win an award. Yeah, you get badges on bod, but like, you don't win an award for completing things. If it's not bringing you joy and it's not making you feel, then you get to edit it. You get to change it, right? So if it's making you feel meh and not, it's time to change it, okay? So edit your habits. Are they serving you, or are they contributing to that kind of meh feeling? And she said something that was like, that like, you're an adult. I'm an adult. We are responsible for making those changes and those pivots. Nobody else is going to do it. I come in here and I try and inspire you and get you all revved up. But at the end of the day, you are your own superhero. You are the one that will decide if this is serving you. Just like I need to decide, these things I've been doing, just because I've done them for forever, are they actually serving me? Do they actually make me feel excited? Are they actually in alignment with who I want to be? Our time is precious. And a lot of us, myself included, we just fritter the shit away. Like, we are just scrolling or looking at stuff, or I'm going over to TikTok, or like, it's so easy to lose yourself. And I'm not saying you have to live this super disciplined life and like get all your habits squared away. But if you are not in a place of flow and this feels good and I'm proud of myself, then it's time to take personal responsibility and make some edits. She also talked about what you are not changing or choosing, which, right? What we're not changing, we're choosing. So if you're feeling meh, if you're feeling disappointed, if you're feeling sad, you're choosing that. Granted, there might be you might have a chemical imbalance. Go see your freaking doctor, do some energy work. There's so many different things that we can do instead of just staying in this place of, well, it just is what it is. Don't come at me with your is what it is. It is not what it is. We always have a choice, and we may not have a choice in our actual physical circumstances, but we have a choice in the highlight reel we play in our head. We have a choice of the things we consume. We have a choice on, even nutrition is so powerful when it comes to mood. I notice that so much, and I kind of hate that because I want to, like yesterday, my nutrition was on point until the kids came home, and I was overstimulated and tired. And before I knew it, I'd had 5 cookies. And I was mad at myself, but I was like, well, I can be mad, or I can take a step back and be like, why did I eat all the cookies? As I'm stuffing them in my mouth, not even chewing them, like, well, I've already had 2, so what's 3 more, right? It's all right. It doesn't mean I failed. It doesn't mean I have to go back to anything. It doesn't mean I have to start over. It doesn't mean I have to log it, whatever. It just is what it is, in the sense that I made that decision and it didn't necessarily serve me, and I can move forward and choose a new path, right? Right. Okay. The final thing was gut check your community. Where are you plugging in? We have a lot of people in our lives. Sometimes it's spouses, sometimes it's siblings, sometimes it's in-laws, sometimes it's old friendships that aren't necessarily inspiring us and building us up. And so you get to choose. You can't necessarily choose your family or your spouse anymore, right? But you do get to choose where you plug in. And if you are feeling discouraged, then I'm challenging you to plug in here, or plug into some other place that inspires you and reminds you of what is possible. You don't need to have a sense of FOMO in your life, but you decide where you're going to put your energy. You decide what you're going to scroll. You decide what you're going to consume, and not just food, right? It's completely about listening to the news or listening to certain music, or instead reading People magazine versus reading a book that speaks to your heart, right? I felt very convicted today, and I just wanted to share that. And then when I was doing my workout, because I was kind of like, well, I feel kind of meh in my workout. But Brianna came in with the truth yesterday, or the day before. I don't know. She's always popping in with the truth. But about how I hadn't been feeling well, right? Like my body was battling a virus, and then I had an injury. So it's normal if you're in that place to feel meh. It's normal. It's okay. You can give yourself a little grace. You don't have to be on the top of the world every single minute of every single day, but it's just something to percolate on. Like, if your common denominator, if your common mood is meh, and this is hard, and all these things keep happening to me, yeah, you might have a lot of things happening to you, but you also get to choose where you're going to focus your energy and the thoughts you're going to think. And instead of, this is so hard and this keeps happening to me, This is an opportunity for me. Like, what can I learn from this? How can I grow from this? How can I help someone else? Because sometimes we just have to stop thinking about our own pity parade and help someone else. Cool? So Autumn said today that laziness fuels laziness and action fuels action. And I felt very convicted because I can eat the cookies and I can lay on my mat and I can watch the workout. I can come in here. I can watch my own videos. But at the end of the day, the thing that will change everything, even if it's not like the perfect, most epic end result, it's just action. It's just doing the thing. Whatever you committed to doing during your 90-day agreement, do that today. Take some action towards it. It doesn't have to be 100% complete. It could literally be 20 minutes of meditation or 20 seconds of meditation, not minutes. It just literally just touching the thing. And I know for me, that helps me so much when I'm so stuck in my own head and everything feels overwhelming and I don't know what to do next. If I just do the next right thing, regardless of the outcome, unattached to what will happen, but I take the effort or I take the action, I put out the effort, that seems to help me a lot. This whole journey that we're on, it's about action. It's not just about sitting around and coming up with your plan or creating the perfect vision. It's about action, imperfect action, trying things, seeing what works, readjusting, realigning, and surrendering the judgment around that. Because I think that a lot of us, myself included, have a lot of judgment. We think it should look a certain way. We think it should unfold a certain way. And then we create frustration and this kind of lack of gratitude around it when it doesn't look that way. That's 100% where I've been. I have a total lack mentality when it comes to this doesn't look the way I wanted it to. And I have this sort of sense of privilege and expectation that I'm doing this work. Why isn't it working out? And yet, am I actually doing the work? Did I just have 5 cookies yesterday? Maybe. So it's just personal responsibility. It's personal responsibility. It's editing your habits, editing your mindset, just making teeny tiny edits. And I'm not telling you to get out a big paper cutter and just chop out total chapters. I'm saying remove a couple words from the sentence. Okay? Maybe you spend 5 extra minutes doing something, or maybe you spend 5 less minutes doing something else. Katie and I were talking about how easy it is to binge watch Netflix and how hard it is to do the other things that we know will serve us. We know it will serve us. We know we will feel better. We know we will have a sense of pride at the end of it, and yet we still choose the thing that doesn't serve us. I think it's just human nature. And I also think that there's a lot of fear, because if you actually do the thing and it doesn't pan out the way you want it to, there's a lot of judgment and criticism that can come from that. So what's the moral of the story? Well, the moral of the story is that laziness fuels laziness, sad panda fuels sad panda, and action fuels action. So in your life today, edit your habits. What is one thing you can tweak? Just one thing you can tweak, and tweak that this week. And then maybe you'll get it under your belt and you'll be like, that felt great. Maybe it'll be like, that wasn't quite what I needed. And so then you can make another edit. It's just figuring out your secret sauce, because what works for me, the stuff that I love, the things that fuel me, it's not necessarily going to be for you. And that's never what this is. I come in here and I shine a light and I share my reel, and I hopefully encourage you to realign with your own journey. But at the end of the day, you are responsible. You get to be responsible for your own freaking epic, amazing life. You get to be the keeper of your own transformation. You get to write your own story. You get to create a new chapter. Your old stories don't have to come into today. What happened last week, last month, last year, last decade? Okay, and you get to write your story. Do something different today that makes you feel excited or scared or makes you want to puke in your mouth a little bit. That's where the growth is. And the growth is always good. Growth can be scary, but it's also a freaking gift. You have an opportunity today to show up to your freaking epic life. And it doesn't have to be perfect, and you don't have to have a master plan. And you might mess up a little, but that's okay. That's how growth and development works, right? Right. So I was like, what do I need to tweak in my own life? I'm going to start listening to my personal development in the morning. That's the tweak. That's the tiny tweak I'm doing. Instead of saying I'm going to read this book for 10 minutes a day and like literally kicking that down every single day's to-do list, I don't do it. I just don't want to at the end of the day, but I know I need to. And so I'm going to be willing to be uncomfortable and be willing to take away 5 minutes of my scroll in the morning to listen to 5 minutes of someone else who will speak life into me. That's what I'm going to do. That is the tweak I'm going to make, and not eat the cookies this afternoon. Okay. So anyways, great chat. I hope you show up today. I hope you log your wins. I hope that you do assess your community. Where are you plugging in? What energy are you putting into other people? And I'm not saying you have to burn the bridges down, but if you have someone that you always go to and you're always pouring life into them and it's not reciprocated, or that you don't walk away from that feeling excited and inspired, then it's time to put some of that energy into a different relationship. And maybe you find a buddy in this group. Maybe you connect more with your coach. Maybe there's I have so many friends that write these books. Brenda Bouchard, freaking, I don't know, who else do I listen to all the time? Kristen Boss, we're besties. They don't know me, but I know them, and their words have made an impact in my life. And so I can choose to surround myself more with that, or I can stay in my little bubble over here and I can gossip with, oh yeah, did you see so-and-so? I mean, not that I'm doing that, but I'm just saying as an example, it's all action fuels action. So what do you need to edit today? What habits can you kind of realign, tweak, just teeny tiny pivots? It's like the airplane. It's like getting in an airplane and going to your destination. They could be off kilter just the slightest amount and no one would notice, but you wind up at a totally different destination. And so that's why we have to gut check, and we have to be like, is this serving me? And do I feel excited about this? And do I feel proud of where I'm at? How can I realign? How can I collect all my wins, no matter how small they are today? Because that's the stuff that compounds. Your wins compound, and so do your losses. So what are you going to collect today? Are you going to be mean? Are you going to, like yesterday I talked about mean girling. Are you going to collect all that, all the proof that you're so behind and it's too hard and you can't get your stuff together? Or instead, are you going to be like, I listened to Sarah today. I'm going to log that as a win. I moved my body for 5 minutes. I turned on BOD. Even if you don't do a workout, but you still make the effort to turn it on, I'm going to say count that as a win, yo. Okay? It doesn't have to be perfect. It just needs to be yours. At the end of the day, you're responsible for your journey. What a freaking gift. Nobody else can do it. You get to do it. That's really freaking rad. If you think about it, it doesn't have to be overwhelming. It can be something that's super exciting and that you're proud of and excited about, right? Okay, I gotta go deliver the mail. I'm gonna listen to my personal development today. I'm gonna be in my inbox catching up because there's a lot of you waiting to talk and I'm so excited. Tonight, we have cooking club at 5:30 Mountain Standard Time. We're making a To Be Mindset teriyaki chicken recipe. It looks super delicious. So we always use the same link. A lot of you have been texting me urgently, last night we had a call and it's like, what's the Zoom link? It's always the same Zoom link. I don't ever switch my Zoom link. So find it. There's 1,005 different posts that I've made. So just, you could search in this group or whatever, Zoom link, and then copy and paste it into a note in your phone. Because if I'm on a Zoom, I'm not going to stop and get off to send you a link. You have access to the link. So save it for yourself, put it somewhere where you can easily find it. I think once you log in, usually it will remember you, which is awesome, okay? So you are capable of figuring things out. You are the own superhero in your life. Welcome to it. Congratulations. I'm so freaking excited for you to rock the shit out of who you were meant to be. Stop coming up with stories around this is too hard and that's for someone else. You are you, which is amazing and magical and exactly who you need to be. So show up as her today. Do the things, make the tweaks, make the edits, be okay with being a work in progress. None of us have it all figured out. We're all works in progress. And if you're not a work in progress, I don't need you in my circle.